I'm Joe Dumit, Professor of Anthropology and Science and Technology Studies and the Director of the Institute for Social Sciences. Today's theme is social networks and decision-making, and we are looking forward to a fantastic day of presentations and discussion about this topic. But first, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to introduce our Chancellor, Linda Katehi, who will give our opening remarks. Linda Katehi has served UC Davis in the role of the Chancellor since 2009. Under her leadership, UC Davis has become one of the top 10 public universities in the United States. As Chancellor, Linda oversees all aspects of UC Davis's teaching, research, and public service mission. She's a nationally renowned educator, mentor, administrator, and electrical engineer, and she has supported the growth of interdisciplinary research and teaching, especially the advanced program, to build and sustain a diverse community of innovative STEM scholars, especially relevant today as we investigate the networked connections across the social sciences and STEM disciplines on our campus. So please join me in welcoming Chancellor Linda Katehi.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning to all of you. It's such a great pleasure to be here this morning and to participate in one of these very important meetings. The Institute for Social Science is a relatively new institute. It started a few years ago, but now I understand and I see that it's really moving forward with full force, try to bring the campus together around very important issues that, social issues that we need to address, but also all other issues that we as a campus are aspiring to participate in finding solutions. It is very important that as we look forward today to identify our place in the world as an institution of higher learning, and in respect specifically to the problems we would like to address, that we come together as a campus and then we permeate all the intellectual boundaries. As we know, this is a challenge we all face, all universities, in our effort to strengthen our disciplines and then really perform with great quality, which we all aspire to. In the process of doing that, a lot of times we strengthen also our intellectual boundaries in ways that makes that permeability really very difficult, that makes collaboration across the boundaries sometimes difficult and sometimes impossible. And we would like to not just learn about each other and try to acquire a common vocabulary that we can use as we work together, but also to find ways that we can reduce the bureaucracies that we have, both academic and administrative. And I want to say that because we as universities are organizations that have been around for a long time, and a lot of our policies that we initiate very early because we would like to institutionalize a lot of our efforts, along the way and after many years tend to become serious constraints around what we can do or what we cannot do. And those policies are both academic and many times administrative. And so in this process of coming together to think together about the challenges we are facing or the opportunities, intellectual opportunities we're facing today, I also would like to encourage you to think of ways by which we can eliminate barriers. One of my mentors a long time ago advised me, he said, if you try to do something new or you try to improve a process in your university or you try to achieve a performance in one area that you have not had before, make sure you don't try immediately new things before you eliminate the barriers that exist historically in the institution. So I will start with that. But I also, now moving away from it, I wanted to say that this is the best time for our university to have discussions today like the one that you have selected for this meeting, which is how social networks participate or influence decision-making. And I have to say, we face that every day. We have been totally troubled and confused in how to use social networks in our understanding of the issues and in our ability to make decisions, whether those are academic or other decisions on our campus. And of course, probably for those of you who really follow some of the most recent events, you will see that in most cases, social media have played a key role. And so understanding how social media influence the way we live and the way we create our opinions or our biases for that matter, or the way organizations can really learn from social media and use them to make appropriate decisions is very important. Of course, it's a very interdisciplinary topic, and I also wanted to say that this kind of interdisciplinarity and work across the disciplines is very important for UC Davis at this moment in its history. So about the history of UC Davis, as you all know, a lot of times we say that we are a 100-year-old institution, which is true, because we started here as the university farm. But at the same time, other people will say we are a very young institution, and this is also true, because we started as an institution, independent, comprehensive university in 1959. So while intellectually we've been around for a long time, and we've had faculty and students who started here in the beginning of the 20th century, at the same time as an organization have been very young. And there are a lot of things to learn on one end, but the advantage of being young is that we don't have so many strong legacies that we need to fight, that we can start new, we can think in a different way, we can do new things for the first time, and it is easier for us to do this here than what it would have been on other institutions that have been around for 150 years. As a university, and Joe said that we are a great university, and we are. We are a university among the top 10 in the country. We worked very hard for many, many years, generations of faculty and staff and students to make this happen. I think we are very blessed to be here at this point in time and enjoy the results of their work. At the same time, we aspire to do more than that. We are a great university because of our work, but I think we can be a great, even greater university, and one that will be the leader in higher education in the 21st century if we start thinking forward, and not just in an incremental way, but rather in a big way, try to make a leap as opposed to try to extend our great work over the next 5 years. Many institutions are doing incremental thinking. A lot of times we think forward 5 years. This is more of a business type of an approach, all right? If you look at a business, then they will try to create a 5-year strategic plan. These are not appropriate for institutions like ours that have been around for hundreds of years and will be around for many more, and institutions that tend to have long-lasting effects in their actions and their decisions. And why is that? For 2 reasons. First of all, because we need to be stable enough so the students who come to us for their degree, they know that things will not change within 4 years, so they will be able to graduate with the understanding that they had when they came about their programs, about their courses. So we have that kind of stability that needs to be there, and abrupt changes in curriculum are never good ones, especially when you look for the good of the student. At the same time, we recruit faculty primarily, and staff, of course, but mostly faculty whom we expect to be around, and we hope that they will be around for the rest of their career. And we hope that we are going to have an environment that will allow them to stay for the next 30, 40, or more years. Now people live longer. Faculty have good and safe lives, so we tend to be productive for many more years. This is true, as a matter of fact. Somebody was saying that the babies who are born after 2010, on average, will probably live to be older than 100. And that implies that their productive life will be longer. So we expect our younger faculty to be around. We want them to be around for a long time, which means that the decisions we make today will impact the university not over the next 5 years, but for the next 50 years. So we cannot think incrementally while we make decisions that will impact the university for such a long period of time, which requires a different kind of thinking. And we started this thinking, and I have to tell you, while we started it, I don't have a great recipe on how to do it. When we talked about how we try to think of us as the university for the 21st century, where we will try to think forward and try to guess of who we would like to be or become after 30 or 50 years, it's a difficult task to have, and I don't have a good answer on how to do it. But I'm hoping that through events like this or other events that will be more specific to that exercise, we'll come together to challenge ourselves on how to think forward in a big way, in a way that really we deserve as we will think of about the next 30 or 50 years and not the next 5. So activities like that I very much like, and even if you think that this is very specific to the Institute for Social Sciences, I have to tell you, in many ways, your interactions and whatever actions you may derive out of these discussions will influence greatly our ability to become that university that we aspire to be. And the last thing that I would like to say, and I will leave you with that, is the role of social sciences today is growing by leaps and bounds. It was not like that when I went to school, when every discipline was really thought of that in a very narrow way, right? Engineering was a very well-defined discipline that impacted technology. Social sciences was another discipline that impacted many other social issues and our understanding of them. But what we see right now is that when we talk about issues, the boundaries are so blurred that you cannot tell where one discipline starts and where the other ends. And I will give you an example of something that I have been asked to do very recently. The Academy asked me to chair a committee that looks at pathways to urban sustainability. And urban sustainability, we have a number of engineers on the committee, but we have a number of social scientists, we have a number of humanists, and we have a number of policymakers. So when you start talking about sustainability, you will see which is primarily the state where you can, if you can achieve sustainability, is a state where you make decisions without impacting the ability of following generations and their choices. All right, so in a very simple way. People disagree about the definition of sustainability, but it's the most simplistic way. So when you start looking at sustainability, it's not just technology. Technology is extremely important. It's not just the understanding of culture and social issues, but there is, of course, the understanding of the economy. So as you look at sustainability and you define it, you say that there are 3 primary areas: the environment, economy, and social justice. And what really brings the glue in all of these are the social sciences. So because you can talk about technology, you can talk about culture, you can talk about the economy, but then what really makes all of this one is the ability to understand of the impact of each one of them on the communities and that they are impacted. And of course in individuals and individual cultures. And my very brief work in this committee, and it's going to go on for another year and a half, has really shown that social scientists in the future in this country will play a key role in trying to understand how all of these other disciplines come together and impact our society, which is at the end what we all try to do, all right, through our work. We hope that we will impact our society in a positive way. But I wanted to say with that I have truly through my work in the last 15 or so years, that has been broader than just what I was doing as an engineer. I have truly appreciated the importance of the social sciences. And I hope that as we move forward, we try to take a few elements about the understanding on the impacts of what we do in society and about social justice, also to disciplines like engineering and to disciplines like business or other professional schools. And I hope that we will find a way to do that. So I want to thank you in many ways for being all together to discuss a very important topic. I want to thank Joe for his great work to really move this institute forward and to bring the campus together. Thank you so much.